Well, it's my privilege to bring to the airwaves pro stock motorcycle driver Katie Sullivan. All right, she was born January 20th, 1991. And let me tell you a little bit about her. First of all, her personal best to date quarter mile is 6.98 seconds at 191 miles per hour on a motorcycle. She became the youngest female to qualify for the NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle and only the 7th female to ever qualify for NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. I mean, we're all looking forward to having Katie, who will be in Gainesville this coming weekend. But unfortunately, you had an accident yesterday.
Yeah, I had a pretty big wreck. We were in Valdosta testing, and the wind was blowing, and I got up on the big end and went down, probably doing between 170 and 180. But I'm pretty banged up. My fingers are a little bit bad, and my elbow. And my bike is completely destroyed, but I'm going to try possibly to ride again, maybe this week and possibly rent a bike for Gainesville. But it's kind of touch and go right now. I'm pretty sore and I'm pretty banged up, but I'm going to give it a shot.
How amazing is it to have somebody do an on-air interview a day after an accident at 175 miles an hour on a motorcycle?
Yeah, that's what I told my dad in the hospital. You know, I think it shook him up pretty good to see me go down. But when you really look at it, to go down at that kind of speed, and for me, I jumped right up after I got done sliding, and I went to the hospital and they checked me out and they had me walk out of the hospital and everything was fine. So it's pretty amazing to go down at that kind of speed and be able just to get up and walk away.
It is, and you're talking this morning as if you were just out late last night having a few drinks and partying around. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And people need to realize that when you're driving a motorcycle like that, it's not like you're all padded up like a person or protected like somebody in another car, a pro stock car or a funny car or a NASCAR for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, I slid pretty good. I don't think anybody could see a lot. They said behind me there was just a lot of dust when my bike just went flying over the guardrail. Yeah, so it wasn't good.
Oh, Katie, thank God you're alive and well today. I mean, I don't even know anybody that's going to get up and do a radio interview less than 24 hours after a wreck at 70-something miles an hour on a motorcycle, okay? And then, on top of that, you are the owner of Tough Girl Designs.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, I love my business, and I mean, that's the whole point of it is really just to show girls that, we could do anything that guys can do. And I work with this awesome organization called Girls for a Change. And so that was kind of where the motivation came from for that was just, through my racing, I've always just wanted to inspire people, especially girls. And
you were really looking forward to coming back and racing this weekend because you didn't race last year, did you?
No, I did. We struggled a little bit. I actually qualified in Gainesville last year, and that's where I ran that. I ran 3 of my first 6s in a row, actually, and we had a great weekend. And then after that, it just, things, the field's getting so fast, and we're just a small, local, low-budget team, so we're doing everything in our power to keep up, especially financial-wise. So we came out, and we came out really strong, and then everybody started going faster, and we hit some gremlins, and then we just couldn't really ever catch up. But when we got to Pomona last year, everything started looking a lot better. And to be honest, that pass that I was on when I wrecked, I mean, I haven't looked at the incrementals or anything, but it was a great pass. I mean, that's why I stayed in it even in the wind, because the bike felt so good. And so it's a little bit disappointing because last year was a little bit disappointing, but we were on the right track, so I was really excited about this year. So that kind of threw a stick in my spokes a little bit.
Let's take it back to when you were a kid. We're speaking with Katie Sullivan. She's a professional pro stock motorcycle driver for the NHRA. When did you start riding?
I started riding when I was 16, but I started begging to ride when I was about 12 because I grew up racing junior dragsters, but about the time I turned 12, I don't know what it was in my head, but I had my heart set on riding drag bikes.
And your dad does it too, right?
Yeah. My dad was actually that we were going to race together in Gainesville. He still is, for sure. He's testing on his bike where we'll be headed out to the track this morning. for him to make some more passes. So we've raced together since I was 16, but he kind of set a lot of what he does aside just to really help me race and, do what I love. So I can't really thank him enough for that.
Now, what do you know when it comes to mechanical aspects of the bike? Can you fix them too?
Oh, I do. I do as much as I can. I like to think I'm pretty mechanical. I mean, I work on the bike and everything with the guys, and it kind of started when I was younger. I mean, when my dad and when I was 16, and it was just me and my dad. I mean, we didn't have a crew. We were just running two bikes. So I had to work on my own bike. That's who worked on it, So that's pretty cool, and I'm glad that it's that way because I enjoy it, and two, I think it's better to have that mechanical knowledge when you're going out to ride something because you can kind of understand what's happening with things you feel or what could cause them and things like that.
Let's talk. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's your day today.
and I think that that it's important too because we are such a low budget team. So I mean, if I can feel something's wrong when it's happening and catch it in time, I mean, that's huge for us because we really, we're doing everything financially we can to be out here, but, we don't really have any extra money laying around.
No, you guys got to do it all. How many bikes are actually on the team right now?
We actually just own two, and one of them is a pro stock motorcycle. The other one, we actually have a turbocharged alcohol injected, a Cowie. So that's just a kind of fun bike that we have. But my dad is actually leasing a bike from Gann Custom, so Blake and Sean Gann.
Yeah, so we can race this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, do you ride a Suzuki?
Yes.
Okay, and everything about that is as far as a guy that drives one of these road rockets. I mean, I know that the engine's beefed up and stuff, but for the most part, is it the same type of Suzuki that a guy buys and drives and on the street?
Well, they call it pro stock, but I mean, there's really nothing stock about it. I mean, these motors they're bored out and they're about as big as they can get, and on the bike, on the body and everything, the bike's so stretched out. I mean, it just, there's really is nothing stock about it. But but I've ridden some of those Suzukis and Cowies that people are riding on the street, and they're fast.
Yeah, I am so privileged. Number one, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and all of the fans that enjoy NHRA in New England that you've come on with me. You're in California. It's 5 a.m. there. You had a wreck yesterday at 170-something miles an hour, and you're talking to me.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I mean, I enjoy it, so thank you.
Okay, why don't you tell everybody, first of all, I want them to follow you on Twitter. I want them to know all of your websites, how they can interact with you. So why don't you give out that information right now?
Okay, so on Twitter, you can follow me at Callie Katie. And I also have a Facebook, and you can just search my name. And my website is www.californiakatie.com. The biggest one for me that I think people enjoy is I write a blog on nhra.com, and it's just under driver blog. And there's actually a link where you can email me on there, but I think that's one of the best things that, I've done is to kind of get to document my story. And I'm so thankful that NHRA gave me that opportunity because, we kind of go out and compete with all these teams that have a little bit different story than we do. So it's kind of cool to get to share our experiences just as, fans of racing and just a small town family that, just loves drag racing.
Elaborate on what Tough Girl Designs is all about.
Well, Tough Girl Designs is actually a graphics company. I do a lot. I can do logos, any kind of designs. I can make in my shop banners, vinyl graphics. I can print and cut vinyl, all sorts of stuff like that. I've designed shirts, hats, things like that. I don't actually print them in my shop, but I can send them out. Hero cards, all that kind of stuff. And I'm so open to promotional work and things like that. I enjoy that stuff. So, I could do quite a few things, but, it kind of explains all that on my website. So that's a good place to go check it out. And I send a lot of stuff all over the country, which is awesome. So I've made a lot of business contacts through racing. So that's been pretty cool.
Katie, a lot of people are probably wondering, and especially those out there that ride motorcycles, and we know about the road rockets and stuff like that there, but can you describe for us in words what it actually feels like to hit the green light at a quarter-mile drag strip when your bike can do 190 miles an hour? What does it feel like on that quarter-mile run?
Well, it's pretty hard for me to describe, and I get asked that a lot. But I think we were kind of talking about it with some of my crew rides too, and it's almost this moment in your life where it doesn't matter what else is going on, or if you're having any sort of problems outside of it, but you just forget everything for that whatever 25, 20, 30 seconds that you're on the bike. It just everything kind of fades away, and it's just you, and all you're thinking about is riding. And that's pretty amazing feeling. I mean, to have something where you can just put everything else out of your head, and you don't even have to think about doing that. I mean, it just happens because, your job is to get on the bike and ride. So it's pretty amazing.
Yesterday you were in an accident.
My left hip has a huge bruise on it because that's the side I went down on, and that's the side I'm real banged up on. My elbows all skidded, and my fingers and stuff just where it wore through. But honestly, my leathers, my helmet, the boots I was wearing, I mean, I cannot believe that I didn't get out worse than I did. I mean, I'm in pretty incredible shape for what I just went through. So I'm really thankful for that.
And I'm sure you've gone down before on a bike.
Actually, that was the first time I've ever been down on dirt bikes I've wrecked, but never on a drag bike.
Oh, we're so happy you're okay. Thank you for your time. We look forward to you racing in Gainesville, Katie, okay? And we'll follow you.
Thank you so much.